The space station called Orion Gate was always loud. Metal floors echoed with heavy boots. Alien traders shouted prices. Ships roared outside the glass walls. Lights blinked in cold white colors. Nobody ever looked down. If they did, they would have seen her. In the darkest corner near a trash chute, a small alien girl crawled on the floor. Her body was thin. Her clothes were torn. Her skin was pale blue, covered in dirt. She picked food scraps from the garbage. A half-eaten ration bar. A crushed fruit skin. A piece of dry bread. She ate like a hungry animal. Her hands shook as she chewed. Her big eyes stayed low. She did not look at anyone. People passed by. A tall alien merchant kicked a food pack away from her. "Get away, filthy thing," he shouted. She flinched and curled her body. She waited until he left. Then she crawled again and took the food. A group of aliens laughed. "Look at it," one said, "eating trash like a dog." Another threw a drink can at her head. She did not cry. She only held her head and kept eating. She had learned one thing in this station. Crying never helped. Her name was Lyra. Once, long ago, she had a family. Once, she had a home. Now she had only hunger, and fear, and the trash. Across the station, a human traveler walked through. The crowd, his name was Ethan Cole. He wore a simple jacket. A travel bag hung from his shoulder. He had just arrived from a long mission. He was tired. He wanted food. He wanted rest. He walked past shops and guards. Then he stopped. Something felt wrong. He turned his head. He saw her. A small blue child eating garbage on the floor. His heart dropped. He watched as an alien pushed her away. He watched her crawl back. He watched her chew slowly, like she was afraid the food would disappear. Ethan felt a tight pain in his chest. He stepped closer. Other aliens stared at him. "Why are you looking at that thing?" one asked. Ethan did not answer. He knelt down a few steps away from the girl. She froze. Her body shook. She thought he would hit her. She hugged her knees. Ethan spoke softly. "Hey, it's okay. I won't hurt you." She did not understand his words, but she understood his tone. Slow, gentle, not angry, he opened his bag. He took out a fresh food pack. He placed it on the floor between them. He pushed it closer. She stared at it. Her eyes widened. Clean food, real food. She did not touch it. She waited. She expected a trick. Many had tricked her before. They gave food, then laughed, then kicked her. Ethan wakened. He sat on the cold floor. People stared. He did not care. He opened his own drink bottle. He took a sip. He smiled gently. "It's yours." She slowly reached out. Her hand hovered over the food. She pulled it back. Then she grabbed it and hugged it like treasure. She opened it. She smelled it. Her eyes filled with tears. She ate, fast, then slow, then fast again. Food fell from her mouth. She did not care. Ethan felt his eyes burn. He had seen war. He had seen death. But this hurt more. A station guard walked over. "What are you doing, human?" Ethan looked up. "Feeding a child," the guard frowned. "That thing is not a sit-in, it's a stray." Ethan stood up. "It's a child." The guard crossed his arms. "Not your problem." Ethan's jaw tightened. "It is now." The guard laughed. "Humans are strange." He walked away. The girl finished eating. She looked at Ethan. Her eyes were still full of fear. She took one small step back. Ethan knelt again. "What's your name?" She did not answer. She did not speak his language. She only hugged her empty food pack. Ethan pointed to himself. "Ethan," he pointed to her. She stared. Then whispered softly, "Lyra." Ethan smiled. "Nice to meet you, Lyra." She blinked. No one had smiled at her in a long time. A loud voice shouted, "Hey, get that thing away from here." A shop owner stormed toward them. That trash creature is bad for business. He raised his hand. Lyra screamed. She grabbed Ethan's leg. She buried her face into his knee. Ethan stepped in front of her. "Do not touch her," the shop owner snarled. "Move, human." Ethan did not move. The crowd started watching. The station lights flickered. A siren sounded in the distance. Ethan felt Lyra shaking behind him. He made a choice. A simple human choice. He looked down at her. "It's okay, I've got you." She did not understand the words, but she understood. The promise. The noise of Orion Gate slowly faded. Ethan walked with small, careful steps. Lyra stayed close to his leg. She did not let go of his jacket. Every time a loud sound came, she flinched. Every time an alien walked too close, she hid behind him. They reached a quiet corner near an old repair bay. The lights were dim. The air was warm. Ethan sat on a metal bench. He took out another food pack. He opened it slowly. He broke the food into small pieces. He placed them on a clean cloth. He pushed it toward her. She stared. She waited. She looked at his hands. She waited. Again. Then she ate. Slow. Careful. Like someone afraid it might vanish. Ethan watched her. Her bones showed under her skin. Her eyes were too big for her face. She was not more than 8 years old, maybe younger. His heart felt heavy. He pointed to her arm. "Does it hurt?" She did not understand, but she understood his worry. She shook her head. He took out a small bottle of water. He opened it. He gave it to her. She drank too fast. She coughed. He gently tapped her back. She froze. She thought he would hit her. He stopped. He pulled his hand back. "I'm sorry," he said softly. She stared at him. No one had ever said sorry to her. Not once. Later that night, the station lights dimmed. Most shops closed. The crowds became thin. Lyra sat beside Ethan. She hugged her knees. She watched every shadow. Ethan spoke slowly. He pointed to himself. "Human." He pointed to her. She said softly, "Cathari." "Her race." He nodded. He pointed to the ceiling. "Home?" Her eyes darkened. She shook her head. She hugged herself tighter. Then, in broken words and simple signs, her story came out. Long ago, there was a small village on a green moon. Her people were poor. Weak. Not fighters. Her parents loved her. They hid her when war came. Big ships filled the sky. Strange soldiers landed. They took everyone. Her father fought. He died. Her mother pushed her into a hole under the house. "Do not come out," her mother said. She waited. She waited all day. She waited all night. Her mother never came back. Aliens found her. They took her. They sold her. She was passed from ship to ship. Some were cruel. Some were cold. No one was kind. One day, a slaver ship crashed near Orion Gate. She escaped. She hid. She begged for food. Aliens pushed her away. They called her trash. They called her animal. She learned to eat garbage. She learned to stay quiet. She learned not to cry, because crying made things worse. Ethan listened. His fists were tight. His jaw was hard. He felt anger. He felt shame. This was a child, and the galaxy had broken her. He stood up. He looked around the empty hall. He knelt in front of her. "Lyra," he said softly, "you are not trash." She blinked. "You are not an animal." She stared. "You are a child." She did not understand the words, but she understood his eyes. She saw something new. Care. She whispered. "Why?" Ethan took a deep breath. "Because you are alive. Because you matter." She looked confused. No one had ever told her she mattered. Footsteps echoed. Heavy boots. Station guards. 2 of them. They stopped when they saw Ethan and Lyra. One guard frowned. "It's the human again." The other guard looked at Lyra. "That stray is still here." He stepped forward. "Come here, creature." Lyra screamed. She grabbed Ethan's arm. She shook. Ethan stood in front of her. Do not touch her. The guard sneered. She is not registered. She is illegal. She is a child, Ethan said. Not our problem. The guard replied. He reached out. Ethan slapped his hand away. The guard's eyes went wide. You just assaulted a station officer. Ethan did not move. You will not take her. The second guard pulled out a stun baton. Move, human. Ethan stepped closer. Arrest me, he said, but you will not touch her. The guards hesitated. They had not expected that. Aliens started gathering. Whispers filled the hall. Why is he protecting it? It's just trash. Lyra cried silently. She pressed her face into Ethan's back. He felt her tears soak his jacket. The guard activated. His baton. Blue light crackled. Last warning. Ethan spread his arms. No. The baton moved toward him. Suddenly, a loud voice shouted, Enough! A senior officer arrived. He looked at the scene. He sighed. This again? He looked at Ethan. Human, you are causing trouble. Ethan met his eyes. Then trouble will follow me. The officer looked at Lyra. Then back at Ethan. This will not end well. Ethan answered, I am not leaving her. The blue light of the stun baton filled the hall. Lyra cried softly behind Ethan. Her small hands grabbed his jacket like he was the only thing keeping her alive. The senior officer stepped forward. Enough, he said again. The guard with the baton lowered it a little. Ethan did not move. His arms were still open. His body was between the guards. And the child. The officer looked tired. Human, this station has rules. Ethan answered calmly. Then your rules are broken. The officer frowned. She is not registered. No papers. No owner. She is not a pet, Ethan said. She is a child. The officer sighed. You cannot keep her. Ethan shook his head. I am not leaving her. Aliens gathered around. Some whispered. Some laughed. Some watched with cold eyes. Why care about trash? One alien muttered. Ethan heard it. He clenched his jaw. Lyra shook. Harder. She expected pain. She expected chains. She expected to be dragged away again. The guard stepped closer. Give us the creature. Ethan raised his voice. No. The word echoed. Simple. Strong. Final. The officer raised a hand. Stand down, he told the guards. They hesitated, but they stepped back. The officer looked at Ethan again. You are creating a problem. Ethan replied, I am solving one. They took Ethan to a small security room. The walls were gray. The lights were bright. Metal table stood in the middle. 2 chairs. The guards stood by the door. Lyra sat on Ethan's lap. She would not let go. The officer sat across from him. You are breaking station law, he said. Ethan nodded. Then write me a ticket. The officer stared. You cannot adopt a stray alien. Ethan leaned forward. Then create a law that allows it. The officer laughed. You humans are insane. Ethan did not smile. You leave children to eat garbage. The officer's smile faded. That is not our concern. Ethan's voice dropped. It is mine. The officer rubbed his face. What do you want? Ethan answered without delay. Temporary custody. The officer shook his head. Impossible. Ethan reached into his bag. He placed a credit chip on the table. All my travel credits. The officer raised an eyebrow. That is not enough. Ethan added his mission payment chip. All my mission credits. The officer stared. You will be broke. Ethan nodded. Then I will still have her. The officer looked at Lyra. She stared at him with wide, scared eyes. The officer looked away. You are crazy. Ethan replied, Maybe, but I am right. Outside the room, whispers spread. A human was buying a trash child. Aliens laughed. Some felt uneasy. One merchant watched from afar. His eyes were cold. He sent a message. Target confirmed. Child located. Back in the room, the officer stood up. You will get a temporary permit, he said. 3 days. Then what? Ethan asked. Then. She goes to a holding facility. Ethan's eyes hardened. No. The officer sighed. That is the best I can do. Ethan thought 3 days was better than nothing. He nodded slowly. 3 days. The officer tapped his pad. A hologram flashed. Permit issued. He handed Ethan a data chip. You are now responsible for her. Ethan took it. He stood up. He turned. To leave. The officer stopped him. Human. Ethan looked back. This will not end well. Ethan answered. Then I will stand at the end. They left the security room. The hall felt colder. Lyra held Ethan's hand. She did not let go. They walked past shops. Past guards. Past staring aliens. Some pointed. Some laughed. Some whispered. Why save trash? Ethan bought her a small jacket. He wrapped it around her shoulders. She looked confused. She touched the soft cloth. Her eyes filled with tears. She whispered, Mine? He nodded. Yes, yours. She hugged it, like it might disappear. They reached a small cheap sleeping pod. Ethan paid for 2 nights. He opened the door. The room was tiny. 2 bunks. A small sink. Small window. He sat on the lower bunk. Lyra stood in the doorway. She did not step inside. She was afraid. He patted the bed. It's safe. She waited. She stepped inside slowly. She sat beside him. She looked around. No chains. No guards. She whispered, Why help me? Ethan took a deep breath. Because someone should have helped you. She looked at his face. She studied his eyes. She slowly leaned her head against his arm. He froze. No one had touched him like that in years. He gently placed a blanket over her. She closed her eyes. For the first time in a long time, she slept. Far away, in the dark part of the station. The merchant smiled. They found her. He sent another message. Prepare retrieval team. The station night cycle began. Lights dimmed. Crowds thinned. The cheap sleeping pod was quiet. Ethan sat on the lower bunk. Lyra slept beside him. Her small body curled like a frightened kitten. Her thin hands still held his jacket. She was afraid to let go. Ethan did not move. He stayed still. He watched her. Breathe. Slow. Soft. For the first time since he met her. She looked peaceful. Then the door panel beeped. Once. Twice. Ethan froze. He slowly stood up. He moved toward the door. He checked the screen. 2 figures stood outside. Tall. Armored. Not station guards. Private security. His heart dropped. He whispered, Stay here. Lyra opened her eyes. Fear returned instantly. She sat up. She grabbed his arm. No. He touched her head gently. I'll be right back. She shook her head hard. She held him tighter. The door beeped again. Loud. Ethan stepped between her and the door. He opened it halfway. What do you want? One guard smiled coldly. We are here for the child. Ethan's jaw tightened. She is under my protection. The guard laughed. She belongs to someone else. Ethan stepped back. She is not a thing. The second guard pushed the door. We are not asking. Ethan slammed the door shut. He locked it. The panel flashed red. Inside the room. Lyra screamed. She ran to him. She pressed her face into his chest. They found me, she cried. Her body shook. Her voice was full of terror. Ethan felt rage burn in his chest. Who are they? He asked. She cried harder. Bad men, chains, pain. The door shook. A heavy fist hit it. Open up, human. Ethan grabbed his bag. He pulled out a small emergency flare. Not a weapon, but loud. Very loud. He pressed it. The flare exploded in bright red light. A piercing sound filled the hall. The door outside rattled. The guards cursed. Station. Alarms began to ring. Ethan grabbed Lyra. Run. They rushed out through the back exit. They ran into the dark service tunnels. The air was hot. Pipes hissed. Steam filled the narrow halls. Lyra cried as she ran. Her small legs moved fast with fear. Footsteps followed. Heavy. Fast. They are coming, she whispered. Ethan lifted her. He carried her. He ran harder. They turned left, then right, then down. They reached a dead end. A locked hatch. Ethan hit the panel. Open. 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 The panel blinked. Slow. Too slow. The guards appeared, their weapons raised. End of the road, one said. Lyra screamed. She buried her face into Ethan's neck. He stepped forward. Take me instead. The guards laughed. Cute. One guard aimed at Ethan's head. A loud voice shouted, "Stand down!" Station security flooded the tunnel. Weapons raised. The private guards froze. A senior officer stepped forward. You are not authorized here. The private guard sneered. We have a legal retrieval order. The officer scanned it. His eyes widened. Royal seal. Ethan felt his stomach drop. Royal. The officer looked at Lyra. Then back at the guards. You will leave this station now. The guards hesitated, then stepped back. This is not over, one said. They disappeared into the tunnel. The officer turned to Ethan. Human. What is that child? Ethan shook his head. I don't know. But she is scared. The officer sighed. This station is no longer safe for her. Ethan nodded. I know. They moved to a secure medical bay. Lyra sat on a bed. She hugged a blanket. She would not let go of Ethan's hand. The doctor scanned her. Her eyes widened. This child. Her blood markers. What? Ethan asked. She is not common Cathari. The doctor lowered his voice. She has royal genetics. Ethan froze. Royal? The doctor nodded. She belongs to a ruling bloodline. Lyra looked confused. She did not understand that. She only saw Ethan's face change. She whispered, Am I in trouble? Ethan knelt. Double quotes. No, you are safe. But he was lying, because nothing felt safe anymore. Later the senior officer returned. Human, you need to leave this station. Ethan asked, why? Because powerful people want her. Ethan clenched his fists. I will not give her up. The officer looked at him. You cannot fight an empire. Ethan answered quietly. Then I will stand in front of one. Far away. A royal ship moved through space. Inside. A tall alien woman watched a hologram. It showed Lyra. Found her. An officer said. The woman's eyes burned. Prepare the retrieval fleet. The secure bay was quiet. Too quiet. Soft. Lights glowed on metal walls. Machines hummed low. Lyra sat on the bed. A thin blanket wrapped around her small body. She held Ethan's hand. She would not let go. Every time a guard walked past the door, she flinched. Ethan sat beside her. His jaw was tight. His mind was racing. Royal genetics. Empire. Fleet. None of it made sense. He looked at her. She was still. Just a child. Thin. Scared. Small. How can she be royalty? He whispered. The doctor stood nearby. Her blood markers do not lie. Ethan shook his head. She ate garbage. The doctor nodded slowly. Yes. A station data officer entered. He carried a tablet. Human, he said. We searched old records. He showed the screen. A faded image appeared. A royal alien couple between them. A small blue girl. It was Lyra. Clean. Smiling. Wearing a small crown. Ethan's breath stopped. That's her, he whispered. The officer nodded. Princess Lyrith of the Cathari Empire. Ethan felt dizzy. Lyra stared at the screen. She tilted her head. Me? The officer looked uncomfortable. Yes. Her hands began to shake. She dropped the blanket. She stepped back. No. Not me. Memories crashed into her mind. Big halls, bright lights, golden walls. Then fire. Screams. Guards. Falling. A woman pushing her into a secret tunnel. Run. Hide. Never say your name. Tears filled her eyes. She collapsed to her knees. She screamed. Ethan caught her. He held her tight. It's okay. You're here. You're safe. She cried into his chest. They killed everyone, she sobbed. They burned my home. Ethan closed his eyes. He felt a cold anger rise. The senior officer returned. Human, he said. The royal fleet is on its way. Ethan looked up. How long? 6 hours. Ethan stood. Then we leave. The officer shook his head. They will block all exits. Ethan's voice hardened. Then I break their block. The officer stared. You cannot. Ethan stepped closer. Watch me. Lyra sat quietly after she stopped crying. She looked empty. She whispered. They will take me. Ethan knelt. They will not. She shook her head. They are strong. You are only one. Ethan smiled softly. One is enough. She looked confused. Why? Ethan touched her head gently. Because you are my family now. Her eyes widened. No one had ever called her family. She leaned into him. She whispered, Do not leave me. He answered, I won't. Far away, the royal fleet jumped out of hyperspace. 10 warships. 1 command carrier. The Cathari royal banner shined bright. Inside the flagship, the tall alien woman stood. She wore black armor. Her eyes were cold. The princess must be returned, she said. Alive? An officer asked. And the human? Her lips curved slightly. Remove him. Back on Orion Gate, Ethan packed fast. Food. Water. A small blaster. Medical kit. He placed Lyra inside a travel cloak. He hid her face. They moved through service halls, avoiding cameras, avoiding guards. Alarms suddenly rang. Red lights flashed. The station shook. A message echoed. All exits locked. Royal authority in effect. Ethan cursed under his breath. They are here. They reached the hangar. Soldiers waited. Royal guards. Dozens. Weapons raised. The tall alien woman stepped forward. Princess Lyrith. Lyra froze. She trembled. She hid behind Ethan. I am not a princess, she whispered. The woman smiled coldly. You always were. Ethan stepped forward. She's not going with you. The woman laughed. You are a joke. She raised her hand. Soldiers aimed. Ethan raised his blaster. One step closer, and I pulled the trigger. The woman tilted her head. You would die. Ethan nodded. Yes, and I would kill first. The soldiers hesitated. The woman's eyes narrowed. Human, you are delaying the inevitable. Ethan replied. Then I delay it with everything I have. The hangar was silent. Too silent. Dozens of royal soldiers stood, in perfect lines. Their weapons were aimed. Their faces were cold. The tall alien woman stood in front. Her black armor shined under red lights. Lyra hid behind Ethan. Her small hands grabbed his jacket. Her body shook. Ethan stood still. His blaster was raised. His finger was steady. His heart was not. The woman spoke calmly. Princess Lyrith, come to me. Lyra pressed her face into Ethan's back. I don't want to go. The woman's eyes hardened. You belong to the throne. Lyra whispered, I belong to him. The soldiers gasped. The woman stared at Ethan. You poisoned her mind, Ethan answered. She chose. The woman laughed softly. A child does not choose. Ethan stepped forward. She does when no one else ever cared. The woman raised her hand. Soldiers tightened their grip. Human, step aside. Ethan shook his head. No, you will die, then I die. The woman sighed. So be it. She lowered her hand. The soldiers fired. Blasters roared. Bright energy filled the air. Ethan jumped. He rolled. He pulled Lyra down. Bolts hit the floor. Sparks flew. The hangar shook. Ethan fired back. One soldier fell, then another. Guards rushed forward. Ethan grabbed a smoke flare. He threw it. Thick gray smoke filled the hangar. He lifted Lyra. He ran. Blaster. Bolts flew past. He reached a small cargo ship. He slammed the door. He started the engine. The ship lifted. Blast hit the side. The ship spun. Lyra screamed. Ethan fought the controls. The ship shot out of the hangar, into space. Alarms screamed. Royal ships followed. In space. Stars blurred. Ethan pushed the engine. Come on, come on. Royal fighters locked on. Missiles armed. Lyra cried. They will kill you. Ethan smiled sadly. Then I die protecting you. Missiles fired. Ethan turned hard. One missile exploded near them. The ship shook. Smoke filled the cockpit. A warning flashed. Engine failure. Ethan cursed. He saw a small moon ahead. He changed course. The ship crashed. Fire. Noise. Blackness. They woke on the moon. Cold air. Sky. Broken ship. Ethan dragged Lyra out. He carried her. They hid inside a cave. Royal ships searched above. Lights scanned the ground. Lyra whispered, "They will find us." Ethan touched her face. "Not today." Far above, the tall woman watched the scans. No life signs, an officer said. They crashed. The woman stared at the moon. Send ground teams inside the cave. Ethan treated his wounds. Blood ran down his arm. He did not care. Lyra cried, "You are hurt because of me." Ethan smiled weakly. "I am hurt because I chose you." She shook her head. "You should leave me." Ethan's voice broke. "Never say that again." She stared at him. He held her shoulders. "You are not trash. You are not a burden. You are not alone." She cried. She hugged him tight, hard. "I don't want to be a princess," she said. "I want to stay with you." Ethan closed his eyes. He whispered, "I will protect you from everything." Footsteps echoed outside. Lights flashed inside the cave. Royal soldiers entered. Weapons raised. The tall woman stepped in. "It ends now." Ethan stood. He placed himself in front of Lyra. "You will not touch her." The woman sighed. "You cannot win." Ethan raised his empty blaster. "I do not need to win." He dropped the blaster. He spread his arms. "You take me. Let her go." The woman paused. Lyra screamed, "No, don't take him." She ran forward. She stood beside Ethan. "I go with him or I go nowhere." The woman stared. She looked confused, then angry, then uncertain. "This is foolish," she said. Lyra looked into her eyes. "You let them kill my family. You let me eat trash. You let me suffer." The woman's face changed. "I did not know." Lyra shouted, "You did not care." Silence filled the cave. The woman lowered her weapon. She whispered, "I am sorry." The soldiers froze. They had never heard that word from her. The woman looked at Ethan. "You changed her." Ethan answered, "No, I saved her." The woman closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. She turned to her soldiers. "Stand down." They hesitated. "Stand down." She shouted. They lowered their weapons. The woman looked at Lyra. "You can choose." Lyra grabbed Ethan's hand. "I choose him." The woman nodded slowly. "Then the Empire will change." The royal ships left Orion. Gate. Slowly. Silently. The space station returned to normal. But nothing was truly normal anymore. Ethan sat in a small, quiet room. Lyra slept beside him. Her head rested on his arm. She still held his jacket, like she was afraid he would disappear. Ethan watched her breathe. Soft. Slow. For the first time since he met her. She looked like a child, not a victim, not a princess, just a child. News spread fast across the galaxy. A human stood against an empire. A child chose a human over a throne. People argued. People shouted. People cried. But one thing became clear. The galaxy was watching. A week later, a message arrived from the Cathari Empire, a formal one. The senior station officer brought it. Himself. Ethan, read it slowly. The Empire recognized Lyra's choice. She would not be forced back. She would be free. But she would remain a symbol. A bridge between humans and Cathari. Ethan looked at Lyra. She was eating quietly. Real food from a real plate. She looked up. Is it bad news? Ethan smiled. No. It means you are free. She stared. Free, yes. She slowly smiled. A real smile. Bright, pure, one that belonged to a child again. Lyra did not return to a palace. She chose something different. She chose to stay with Ethan. They left Orion Gate together on a small human ship. They traveled through space. To human worlds, where no one called her trash. Where no one called her animal. Children stared at her. Some were afraid. Some were curious. But none kicked her. None laughed. She went to school. She learned to read. To write. To laugh. Ethan learned how to be a father, how to tie her clothes, how to calm her nightmares, how to listen. Some nights she still woke up shaking. Ethan would sit beside her bed. He would say, "You're safe." And slowly, she believed him. Years passed. Lyra grew taller. Stronger. She kept her blue skin, her bright eyes. But now, she carried confidence. One day, she stood in front of a crowd. Humans. Aliens. Ke Tahari. She spoke with a clear voice. I was once a princess. The crowd listened. I was once a beggar. The crowd fell silent. I ate scraps like a dog. Gasps filled the hall. But one human saw a princess in me. Ethan stood in the crowd. Tears in his eyes. She continued. The galaxy failed me. But humanity did not. The hall erupted. Applause. Cheers. Some cried. New laws were written. Across many systems. Children could no longer be abandoned. No race could be treated as trash. Shelters were built. Rescue ships launched. And at the front of it all stood Lyra. Not as a ruler, not as a queen, but as a protector. One evening, Ethan and Lyra stood on a hill, looking at the stars. Lyra smiled. Do you regret it? Ethan asked. Saving me? She laughed softly. No. I mean, giving up your normal life. Ethan thought. Then shook his head. My life became better the moment I met you. She leaned against him. You didn't see a monster. You didn't see trash. You didn't see a princess either, she said. Ethan smiled. What did I see? A little girl who needed someone. Far across the galaxy, a Cathari child sat in a shelter. Eating warm food. Smiling. Safe. Because once a human chose to care. And so the galaxy learned something new. Not from war. Not from power. Not from empires. But from one human. And one small girl. That sometimes the strongest force in the universe is simply seeing someone as they truly are.